flames shoot up as firefighters train water hoses on the scene of a collapsed building following an explosion at Minnehaha Academy in Minneapolis Wednesday, August 2, 2017. Dave Orrick, Pioneer Press. Firefighters Don gear amid a debris field just west of where a building exploded at Minnehaha Academy in Minneapolis Wednesday, August 2, 2017. Dave Orrick, Pioneer Press. Shattered windows and fragmented bricks are visible following an explosion at Minnehaha Academy in Minneapolis Wednesday, August 2, 2017. Dave Orrick, Pioneer Press. Liz Peterson, holding her 14-month-old daughter Lucy, gives her name to a Minneapolis police officer outside Minnehaha Academy in Minneapolis Wednesday, August 2, 2017. Peterson arrived to pick up Taytum Rhoades, a student and daughter of a friend. Taytum, who was inside the gym when the explosion happened, escaped unharmed and was united with Peterson later. Dave Orrick, Pioneer Press. Liz Peterson, holding her 14-month-old daughter Lucy, walks with Minnehaha Academy student Taytum Rhoades away from the scene of an explosion Wednesday, August 2, 2017. Taytum, a resident of St. Paul's McGroveland neighborhood, was inside the gymnasium when the explosion happened. Dave Orrick, Pioneer Press. Paul firefighters huddle before heading into the scene of a collapsed building at Minnehaha Academy in Minneapolis Wednesday, August 2, 2017. Dave Orrick, Pioneer Press. One person has been found dead and another is still missing in the rubble after a natural gas explosion this morning at the upper campus of Minnehaha Academy in Minneapolis. One of the two is a school staff member, the other a contractor working at the school, said a Minneapolis fire official. 9 people were injured, 3 critically, in the blast, which occurred about 10:20 a.m. Crews were still considering it a rescue operation and planned a search for remaining adult under the rubble of the building's center section, said Minneapolis Fire Chief John Frutal at a 2:45 p.m. news conference. All students at the private school were safe, the school said Wednesday morning on its Facebook page. Sarah Jacobson, executive director of institutional advancement at the school, said about a dozen students who were in the gym were all okay. Crews were searching for spaces where people could be surviving in there and trying to move the rubble in a way and access those spaces in a way that won't cause further damage, said Brian Tyner, assistant Minneapolis fire chief. Tyner said contractors were in the building working on the boiler system when the natural gas explosion occurred. Minneapolis records show the city issued a permit June 7 to Master Mechanical Inc. of Eagan for gas piping and hooking up meter at the address. One person, previously unaccounted for, had been found safe and not at the school, in the 3100 block of West River Parkway. 3 people were in critical condition and 4 people in serious condition at 1 p.m., said Jim Miner, chief of emergency services at Hennepin County Medical Center in Minneapolis. 2 others arrived with minor injuries. We were relieved, Miner said. We were prepared for a lot more injuries. We all feared for the worst when we first heard. The initial call came in about 10:20 a.m. as a building explosion with people possibly trapped. Like an earthquake. Josh Thoreau, the school's athletic director, girls basketball coach, was with a half-dozen players having opened gym at the time of the explosion, with one player's father coaching. We didn't know what was going on, we just ran out. We didn't know any better. The gym shook, we ran for it. Blown-out windows are seen at Minnehaha Academy in Minneapolis after a gas explosion caused a portion of a building to collapse Wednesday, August 2, 2017. Frederick Mello, Pioneer Press. Everyone in my wing got out safe, so we're just thankful, he said. Taylor N. Grand, caretaker and resident of the neighboring Danish American Center, also thought briefly that it might have been an earthquake. I felt it in my body more than I heard it, she said. Minnehaha Academy student Taytum Rhoades was practicing with her and girls varsity basketball teammates in the gymnasium when the building shook and lights went out. Parts of the ceiling sort of collapsed and things were falling, she said as she left the scene with a family friend who had gone to pick her up after practice. Our coach, Josh Thoreau, told us to run, so we all started running toward the exit, said Rhoades, a resident of St. Paul's McGroveland neighborhood entering her junior year. We left everything, she said. Then she looked down at the basketball in her hand. Well, I guess I hung onto the ball. I wasn't really thinking. What followed was a surreal experience, as the students and their coach encountered smoke-filled hallways and odd sightlines as they made their way outside. Members of the St. Paul Fire Department respond to a building collapse at Minnehaha Academy in Minneapolis on Wednesday, August 2, 2017. Dave Orrick, Pioneer Press. I could see inside a Spanish class. I could see what was written on the board. It was weird. She saw others stranded on a roof of a connected building. She said when firefighters arrived, all were able to be safely evacuated from the roof. Tyner confirmed that 3 people were rescued from the roof. When it first happened, we didn't really think it was all that serious. But when we got outside and saw everything, we were all so relieved and happy that we made it out. The damage occurred in a central, older part of the school building, where 9th through 12th graders attend. I knew something bad happened. Judith Lies lives across 31st Street from the gym. Her first inkling, the loudest sound I ever heard, she said. My hearing is still affected. Everything shook. All the cupboard doors were blown open. She said a cloud of smoke and debris made it impossible to see what happened, but she saw young people on the athletic field to the west of the building running in the opposite direction. I knew something bad had happened, she said. She and several other neighbors complimented the rapid response of fire and police. And we're so thankful this wasn't a school day, Liz said. One of the first things John Barron saw in the immediate aftermath of the explosion were his neighbors running toward the scene. Barron, who lives west of the athletic fields west of campus, said it wasn't clear how to get past the fenced-in fields, but at least some of his neighbors did, as they began removing cinder blocks and bricks in an effort to get to potential survivors. One neighbor, Ramsey County Sheriff's Deputy Paul Meskin, told Barron that he was able to extricate one person from the rubble, alive, shortly before on-duty emergency responders arrived and took over the efforts. Employees of a food services company that serves the school were at the building Wednesday to interview job candidates, said Alex Buck, the digital media director of Taher Inc. of Minnetonka. The employees told him that a message came across the school's sound system telling everyone to get out of the building. The workers escaped uninjured and were seen tearfully hugging each other. From what I have been able to gather and from what people have been telling me, obviously they are shaken over this, but they said it was a matter of seconds, Buck said. Of course, in a moment of really high adrenaline, what feels like seconds could be minutes, but from what I am being told, it was just seconds between gas leak. Everybody out and the explosion. Minnehaha Academy told its families that the gas leak and explosion affected only its upper campus. In a statement on its Facebook page, summer program students and staff are accounted for and safe, it said. Gov. Mark Dayton issued a statement saying his office was in continuous contact with Minneapolis officials. The state will provide any and all resources necessary to aid first responders in their efforts to ensure the safety of all those impacted by this morning's explosion, Dayton said. Minnehaha Academy is a Christian college prep school, serving students from pre-kindergarten through 12th grade. Even though it is summer break, many students, teachers and coaches were at the school for sport programs, summer school and other activities. The Associated Press contributed to this report.